We're going to talk about the benefits of the Reformation. My question: how did the Reformation in the 15th century affect our political and education system in the world today? Answer: the Reformation brought about a more positive impact on the political and education system which is practiced today. In the political aspect, in the early years, the Roman Church was the leader of Europe, so everything has a law that was made by the prince according to the Bible. This means that anything that the people wanted to do had to be make sure and marked by the priests of the church, and the church was the only one that had that ruled the whole Europe. Even though there were priests, kings, and priests and princes back then, they had to still go meet the head of the church. So there was a guy named Martin Luther who wanted to be a priest, and he studied the Bible. As he was studying the Bible, he realized that it's not only the priest that come up with the things called pardon, which is like a form of forgiveness, which they sell to people in order to get their sins forgiven, or they had to do good works in order to get to heaven. He found out that it's God that is truly has the author and finisher of our faith, and that we have to walk through faith in order to get to heaven. That's not only by doing good works, and pardon should not be sold to the people. A prince named Prince Henry VIII took the Reformation to his advantage because he wanted to get a divorce from his wife, who could not produce a son for him to rule the throne. So he decided to become the head of Europe by overruling the church. And when this act happened, it is practiced today as democracy, which is common in the world today. You might ask how this is possible. If Martin Luther did not come up with 35 theses, which became the Reformation, Prince Henry would not have used that opportunity to have to overthrow the Catholic Church, which was the head back then. So by doing this, people began to learn how Martin Luther 35 theses was true, and began to take sides with Prince Henry, therefore giving them a voice through their leader, therefore that's how democracy became. And democracy is the act of us, the people, using our rights to get a leader who can speak for us. And that's what happened back then when Martin Luther brought up 35 theses. And these are pictures. On the left hand side is the Roman Church, and sitting on that chair is a priest, therefore giving our pardons to the people, thinking that they will be forgiven if pardons are bought or by doing good works. On the right hand side, we have Prince Henry VIII, the person who took the Reformation to his advantage by overthrowing the Catholic Church. Now that brings me to my educational aspect. In the early years, people just believed what the priests were taught, and the Bible was only written in Latin, and that is what the priests knew how to read, and that the people did not understand. But when Martin Luther brought up the 35 theses, he also decided to translate the Latin Bible into Greek so everyone can have the Bible available to them. So by doing this, the people began to read in Greek and other languages in order to comprehend what Martin Luther was saying, and this also brought about different Christianity in that way. Therefore, people began to understand things, began to comprehend, not only doing what they were told by the priest or the prince. They were able to come back and then say, okay, this is what we think, this is what I think. Therefore, bringing an educational system, therefore learning different languages, reading in different languages, and other things. And this also brought about the printing press. Therefore, for example, it's known that if you type and write, the thing sticks more into your head, and that's how the printing press works. As they were putting the letters into the stones, they began to understand Greek, and we also began to read it and learn how to write it and that kind of aspect. So that's how the Reformation helped the educational system, but allowing people to learn how to read in different languages, and also brought about the printing press. So on my left hand side, we have the Roman Catholic Bible, which was only read by the priest and was written in Latin. On the other hand, we have the Greek Bible, which was translated by Martin Luther and which was read by everyone. So in conclusion, the Reformation brought about democracy, which is practiced today, and also brought about reading and learning in different languages. Therefore, the Reformation brought more of a positive effect than a negative. Well, it was well known that many people died through the Reformation because of killing and other aspects, but there are also bright sides to this. The Reformation brought about democracy through the overthrowing of the Roman Church, and also brought educational system through the reading of books through different languages. There are other aspects that the Reformation brought which were not mentioned. It also brought the use of trade. Back in the olden days, rich people only used their money to buy art, but then when the Reformation came about, the printing of money was much better and easy to carry around. Therefore, they used the money. The money was somehow portable in order to get other materials that were needed back there, which brought about trade. It also brought about the printing press, which is used to print books and other things needed in the world today. Without the Reformation, the printing press would not have been popular for us to be using that today. And that brings me to the end. Thank you very much.